Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Ah, how itchy. After recovering from the darkness, Zhang Tongming only felt that the position of his left chest and heart was tickling like a tide. What time is it? I've promised to order more today. Don't eat your words. As a writer of LV1 in a certain literary group, Xuanhuan, Xianxia, Urban. All kinds of categories have Zhang Tongming's figure on the street. He managed to make 1,000 orders in fantasy, and Zhang Tongming attached great importance to it in his heart. Against the tide of chest itching, Zhang Tongming struggled to stand up from the bed and opened his eyes vaguely. The next second, however, Zhang Tongming was stunned. Where is this or his humble rental house? The spacious hall, the burning fireplace, the exquisite thick carpet, the soft leather sofa, the dim light gas lamp. The house is full of classical European-style decoration, everything seems so incredible. After swallowing a mouthful of saliva from his throat, Zhang Tongming seemed to be aware of something. He looked around in the room. For a long time, his eyes stayed on the mirror. Blonde hair, white skin, black pupil, high nose, handsome facial features, strong limbs, gorgeous clothes. Looking at himself in the mirror, Zhang Tongming had a strange look on his face and muttered to himself, "Am I going through this?" As an internet writer, Zhang Tongming has written countless crossing beginnings, but it's the first time that he has done it himself. Just when Zhang Tongming was still a little hesitant about whether he really crossed, a pile of memory fragments that he had never heard of appeared in his mind. Connor Ferguson, the aristocrat of the Common Empire, the successor of the Ferguson family, is a sophomore in history at Green University. Because of the death of his mother Catherine Francis, he had a big fight with his father, the owner of the Ferguson family. He left the family angrily and went to study history at Green University in the western seaport commercial city of Rouen. His father, Sir Alex, the hereditary Earl of the Common Empire, was a typical aristocrat in the decline of the empire. In order to maintain his earl's dignity, he would not hesitate to mortgage and sell his family's land one by one. Mother Catherine Francis, the daughter of the Francis Financial Group, her marriage with old Ferguson is a marriage between the declining hereditary aristocracy and the financial group which quickly accumulated wealth during the Industrial Revolution. The aristocracy is for the huge dowry, while the financial group is to help the aristocracy to improve their social status and influence. However, from the perspective of marriage, Catherine's marriage with old Ferguson is a complete tragedy. Not long after the marriage, old Ferguson will continue to linger in the aristocratic life. In Connor's memory, old Ferguson has always assumed the responsibility of a father. Even practicing the night-breathing method handed down from generation to generation by the Ferguson family is an important thing that the old housekeeper over 70 years old of the Ferguson family has replaced the old professor. The death of his mother Catherine is a great blow to Connor. Zhang Tongming, who integrates his memory fragments, can clearly feel Connor's missing and sadness for his mother. In order to make Connor admit his mistake and yield to his authority, old Ferguson closed all his bank accounts, but even so, Connor's life at Green University was not tight. His mother, Catherine, bought an education fund for Connor when she was very young. From the day Zhang Tongming was admitted to Green University, Zhang Tongming could earn £30 a month until Connor finished his studies. Zhang Tongming wanted to know more about Connor's life, but unfortunately, the itching on his chest was unbearable. Untie his gorgeous coat, Zhang Tongming just wanted to grab it to relieve the itching on his chest, but before he could move, he was stunned by himself in the mirror again. In the dressing mirror, naked Zhang Tongming's left chest, that is, the position of his heart, suddenly appeared a fist-sized hole. There was not a drop of blood at the edge of the flesh and blood, and his pale ribs were exposed to the air. Bang dang! Such a frightening scene made Zhang Tongming collapse on the ground in a cold sweat. What the hell? Can such injuries survive? Take a deep breath. Zhang Tongming's mood slowly calmed down. He began to carefully look at his heart position of the wound. Through the scars and ribs, Zhang Tongming can clearly see that his bright red heart is beating one after another in the center of the hole. At the same time, at the edge of the hole, layer after layer of pink granulation is constantly producing at the speed visible to the naked eye, repairing the wound of the heart. According to this speed, it won't be long before the wound in his heart will heal completely. Feeling all this, Zhang Tongming breathed out a mouthful of turbid air and fell into meditation. This kind of heart is naked, and it can still bounce and heal itself. It seems that the information about extraordinary ability in Connor's memory may not be false. In this world, the wizard with powerful and extraordinary ability may not only exist as a little known legend. According to Zhang Tongming's understanding, the world should have completed the first industrial revolution and is developing towards the second industrial revolution. Textile machines, steam trains and hot air balloons have already appeared. If we continue to develop in this way, in a few hundred years, the world will develop to the same level of science and technology as the Earth today. As for the seemingly omnipotent, powerful and weird wizard, there is not much information in the memory of Connor Ferguson, a hereditary aristocrat, and these little knowledge is also known through the literature in the family's secret library. Those treasured by the Ferguson family from generation to generation, so old that they seem to be broken by the wind, have revealed a surprising secret, that is, in this world, witches not only really exist, but also now the main forces driving the development of the world's productive forces. It seems that they are not scientists, but witches with all kinds of magical abilities. Drop. The unknown energy in the subject has been cleared, and the subject has recovered to a healthy state. Just when Zhang Tongming was shocked by this big secret, a cold female voice appeared in Zhang Tongming's mind. At the same time, the itching caused by the granulation repair of the hole in his chest stopped. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.